The preseason was over. The lights inside Chase Center dimmed down on a Friday night after a narrow 106-103 loss to the Clippers. For Steve Kerr and his Golden State Warriors, the real challenge wasn't behind them, it was right ahead. The regular season opener against the Los Angeles Lakers loomed large, yet one question still hung heavy in the Bay Area air. Who's going to start on Tuesday night? Moses Moody's strained calf had changed everything. His injury seemed minor at first, just another preseason precaution. But as Sunday rolled around, Kerr stood in front of the media, his expression more uncertain than ever. "Moody's out," he confirmed. The words hit like a subtle gut punch. The 22-year-old guard had been one of the bright spots of the preseason, averaging over 14 points, hitting more than half his shots, and sinking threes at an elite clip. His growth was finally aligning with the Warriors' next chapter, a bridge between the dynasty's past and the team's future. Now, that bridge had cracks. Jimmy Butler and Jonathan Kuminga, both battling ankle tweaks, were back in scrimmages. Kerr smiled when he mentioned them, a veteran fighter and a rising star, sharing the floor again, both questionable but expected to suit up for the opener. Yet, with Moody sidelined, Kerr admitted what everyone already sensed: the Warriors still didn't know who their fifth starter would be. Steph Curry and Draymond Green were givens. They always were. Two pillars of an empire that had redefined modern basketball. At Jimmy Butler, the Warrior who joined the Warriors, a player whose mentality mirrored Draymond's fire and Steph's competitive calm. Brandon Podziemski, the young lefty shooter who'd impressed everyone with his poise and basketball IQ, was next in line. That made four. But the fifth? That was the puzzle. Kerr mentioned Al Horford, the seasoned veteran, now 39, who had arrived in Golden State to anchor the defense, share wisdom, and provide stability. He could start, yes, but playing him more than 25 minutes was risky. "We have to think about the rotation," Kerr explained. If Horford started, there would be long stretches on the bench later in games. If he came off the bench, the Warriors might lose early balance. Then there was Kuminga, the athletic, versatile forward whose evolution had been the talk of the league last season. Kerr could go small, play Kuminga at the 4, and push Green back into his familiar role as a small ball 5. That combination had defined the Warriors' most dangerous lineups in years past: chaotic, fast, unpredictable, but deadly. Draymond Green, now entering his 14th season, laughed when asked about it. "If I have to play the 5 again," he said, half joking, "I'm going to ask for a trade." The reporters chuckled, but they all knew what he meant: not frustration, but fatigue. Green had carried the weight of being the undersized center for nearly a decade, outsmarting giants with heart, timing, and instinct. He had become the heartbeat of small ball basketball. But even after all these years, Green's answer was still the same: do whatever it takes to win. "I've teetered with it my whole career," he said. "Sometimes I'm the 4, sometimes the 5. But whatever puts us in the best position to win, that's what I'm going to do." His voice carried both pride and perspective. "Playing the 5 isn't always about size. It's about the size of the heart. And I think mine's as big as anyone's in this league." For Kerr, that selflessness was the foundation of every championship run. He had watched teams rise and crumble under ego, but this group, with new blood like Butler, Podziemski, and Horford, still carried the culture built by Curry and Green. That trust, that willingness to adapt, was why the Warriors were still in the conversation after all these years. Across the hallway, Lakers head coach J.J. Redick had already announced his starting 5: Gabe Vincent, Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, and DeAndre Ayton. LeBron James was out with sciatica, but the Lakers still looked dangerous. The anticipation for opening night was electric. Old rivals. New faces. Two different eras of basketball colliding once again. Back in the Warriors' locker room, the mood was businesslike. Curry tied his shoes, headphones on, locked in. Butler stretched quietly near the sideline, his expression unreadable. Brandon Podziemski shot corner threes with calm consistency, while Horford gave pointers to young bigs about positioning and timing. Kuminga moved with silent confidence, a man who knew this season could change everything for him. Steve Kerr walked through the gym, clipboard in hand, glancing between groups, his mind racing. He had seen dynasties form and fade. He had coached through chaos, through injuries, through the rise and fall of stars. Now, once again, he faced the simplest and hardest question in basketball: who do you trust to start the game? For the next few hours, the Warriors scrimmaged in silence. No fans. No cameras. Just basketball. Butler tested his ankle. Kuminga drove hard to the rim. Draymond barked orders on defense. Curry smiled after sinking back-to-back threes from the logo. It felt like old times, but new too. This was no longer the team of 2015 or even 2022. This was a different breed, part old guard, part new era. Outside, the Bay Area skyline glowed gold and blue, and banners inside Chase Center whispered reminders of glory past. Yet in the heart of every Warrior beat the same hunger, to prove they still belonged among the league's elite. Moody's Eye. The Golden State Warriors are once again attracting serious attention heading into the 2025 to 2026 NBA season. After a somewhat uneven 2024 to 2025 campaign, they have made deliberate moves to bolster their roster and re-establish their identity. Rather than reinvent themselves entirely, they have refined their core by adding high-character veterans and locking in younger talent. With the arrivals of Al Horford and Anthony Melton, alongside the contract renewals of Jonathan Kuminga and Gary Payton II, the Warriors are aiming for balance, experience, defense, energy, and growth all in the same mix. Al Horford brings a calming veteran presence. While he may no longer be at the athletic peak of his youth, his basketball IQ, versatility, can shoot from the perimeter, pass from the post, defend multiple positions, and leadership make him an ideal fit for the system coach Steve Kerr runs. Horford provides another dimension. In previous seasons, the Warriors sometimes struggled when their bigs got exposed defensively or when spacing collapsed. Horford helps handle both. His role extends beyond statistics. It includes mentoring younger players, stabilizing rotations, and bringing a level of consistency in half-court sets. D'Anthony Melton is the modern glue player the Warriors lacked at times. He is energetic, strong on the perimeter defensively, can guard multiple positions, force turnovers, and in transition turn defense into offense. His fit beside the likes of Stephen Curry and other shooters is logical. He doesn't demand the ball to be effective. He moves, cuts, spot-ups, and defends. In preseason scrimmages, the chemistry between Melton and the veteran core has already hinted at promise. Those hustle plays, the deflections, the fast breaks initiated by stops have been showing up. Locking in Jonathan Kuminga on a new deal was a smart long-term and short-term move. Kuminga has shown the physical tools, athleticism, length, strength, to impact both ends, and now he's entering the stage where refinement of his decision-making and consistency matter. The Warriors are ensuring their future while also trying to win now. Gary Payton II remains a key part of the identity. Relentless on defense, unafraid, brings fearlessness. Having him back ensures that the team retains its defensive spine and hustle culture. In the 2025 preseason, the Warriors offered glimpses of a team rejuvenating itself. The offense looked smoother. Ball movement improved, more off-ball motion, better spacing. Curry looked refreshed, focused. His leadership is more important than ever. The younger players such as Kuminga and others seemed more ready to contribute, showing less hesitancy. On defense, the team appeared more cohesive, rotations tighter, communication improved, and the new additions seemed to have bought into the system. The bench showed signs of stronger production, which was an area of concern in previous seasons. Yet, challenges remain. Steve Kerr must find the right balance between giving veteran minutes and developing the young core. Managing player minutes, avoiding fatigue and injury, especially with the older veterans, will be key. Rebounding, particularly when switching to smaller lineups, still needs attention. Offensively, the Warriors must guard against stagnation. When the ball stops moving, when Curry is forced to hero ball, they become less efficient. Trusting the younger guys to step up and maintain consistency, while still winning now, is a delicate task. Curry remains the heart and engine. His conditioning, his leadership, his ability to draw attention and create for others all remain elite. The window isn't infinite, the Warriors know this. The urgency is real. The blend of veterans like Horford, Melton, Payton, and younger contributors like Kuminga creates a roster that might sneak up on some. Opponents may still view the Warriors as fading, but this group seems ready to fight again. Steve Kerr's message is clear: identity matters, defense matters, movement matters. They are not trying to blow up the system that has delivered championships. They are refining it, evolving it. The Western Conference will be stacked, but the Warriors once again are in the conversation not just as an afterthought, but as a contender. The 2025-2026 season tip-off will tell us a lot. Health, chemistry, depth, all will be tested. But if the preseason is any guide, the Warriors are no longer the old team in decline. They are a retooled contender with the hunger to prove themselves. And in the NBA, you never count out a team with championship DNA and a renewed sense of purpose. Golden State Warriors forward Jonathan Kuminga might have just signed a new deal, but his name is already surfacing in trade rumors once again. Despite his athleticism and flashes of brilliance, there are still doubts about how well his style fits into Steve Kerr's system. According to a new report, the Warriors could consider moving him in a blockbuster trade that brings in a $112 million rising star. The proposed deal, shared by Nathaniel Holloway of Athlon Sports, suggests Golden State could send Kuminga, Moses Moody, and draft picks to the New Orleans Pelicans in exchange for Trey Murphy III and a reunion with Kevin Looney. Murphy, a smooth-shooting 3-and-D wing, is seen as a perfect complement for the Warriors' offense, a player who can stretch the floor, defend multiple positions, and fit seamlessly alongside veterans like Stephen Curry and Draymond Green. Murphy's numbers last season tell the story. In 53 games, he averaged over 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists while shooting more than 45% from the field. Now entering the first year of his 4-year, $112 million contract, the 25-year-old looks ready to take another leap. For Golden State, landing Murphy could be both a short-term boost and a long-term investment as the team plans for a future beyond the Curry-Green era. Even with all the trade talk, the Warriors are entering the new season with renewed optimism. The addition of veteran center Al Horford gives them a reliable presence in the paint, someone who brings experience, leadership, and defensive intelligence. As ESPN analyst Tim Legler noted, Horford's impact goes far beyond the box score. His ability to facilitate offense, space the floor, and anchor the defense makes him a natural fit for the Warriors' system. At 39, Horford may not post huge scoring numbers, but his influence on winning is undeniable. He knows how to make the right reads, communicate on defense, and mentor younger players, qualities that could make a major difference as Golden State pushes for another playoff run. For now, the Warriors aren't in a rush to shake up the roster. The front office wants to see how the current group performs before the February trade deadline. Still, if Trey Murphy becomes available and the Pelicans show interest, expect Golden State to at least pick up the phone. A swap involving Kuminga might be painful, but if it brings another two-way star to the Bay Area, it could be the kind of move that extends the Warriors' dynasty for years to come. Fans are buzzing. Some say the NBA just handed Curry another MVP season. Others argue the league is making it too easy for shooters. But the truth? Basketball evolves. And the league is always finding ways to protect its most skilled players, to make the game cleaner, safer, and more spectacular. And when Curry's shooting deep threes without worrying about a slap on the wrist, everyone wins. As the 2025-26 season begins, the Golden State Warriors find themselves at another turning point. They're older, but smarter. Experienced, but still hungry. And now, the rules themselves seem to favor their style of play. Stephen Curry has already changed basketball once. Now, he might do it again. Because when you protect the greatest shooter of all time, you might just unleash another Warriors revolution. The NBA offseason is always full of speculation, but this year, one name keeps popping up in the headlines for the Golden State Warriors: Bam Adebayo of the Miami Heat. Reports from Brett Siegel of Clutch Points suggest that if Adebayo ever requests a trade, the Warriors would be among the top teams interested in acquiring him. Why is Bam so intriguing to Golden State? His skill set mirrors that of Draymond Green but with an added scoring punch. He is a three-time All-Star with a versatile defensive game, capable of guarding multiple positions and anchoring the paint.